You know, I I am a wrestling fan. Been a wrestling fan since I was a wee little lad, a wee little cub. And I love WrestleMania. I love the pageantry. I love the storylines, the action, the suspense. Everything is everything about WrestleMania felt bigger than life itself. But of lately, the storylines that they have for WrestleMania 41, in my personal opinion, fell flat. And the results of these said matches are head scratching, predictable, and forced. Now, for anyone that watches WWE, you would know that the major storylines is as follows. John Cena turns to a bad guy. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble and he challenged the Raw champion Gunther. You had Charlotte Flair versus the women's champion Tiffany Stratton. And then you had the triple threat with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. The very first match they had to start the show was the Raw Championship match. Jey Uso versus Gunther. Now, Gunther, who is the Raw champion, only got pinned one time, and that one time what was him getting pinned in the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view Crown Jewel for a championship only for that pay-per-view. He got pinned by Cody Rhodes. And then he got pinned by Sami Zayn in last year's WrestleMania to lose an Intercontinental Championship. So he's only been pinned twice. He's only been pinned twice. He is a monster. He is a force to be reckoned with. Now, tell me how you had Gunther, who is supposed to be a force to be reckoned with, get submitted, choked out in the middle of the ring. And not only did he lose by a submission, you had a visible tap. It wasn't as though like when you're in a predicament of being submitted or being close to being submitted, those that are about business are not going to tap out. They're not going to give you the satisfaction of you make me say mercy. Gunther Gunther said mercy on that. That's embarrassing. That looks shitty. Okay? Granted, for some stupid fucking reason, storyline wise, and if this was like if this was in a game, in a movie, in a book, doesn't make sense for a champion of whatever to only defend their title single digits 6 times, most of it bloviating about shit, not competing in shit, not doing any title defenses, nothing, just marching around, bitching and complaining and saying and just saying shit like I'm gonna destroy you, but not showing the challenges that you're about that business. Like, you're a champion. You are someone that's supposed to defend that title against all comers. But the problem with, well, one of the problems with WWE is they never want to have the the champion fight anyone anytime. It's only safe for pay-per-views, and the thing is, it's going to get to a point where talking doesn't amount to anything. You have to show you have to show your athleticism. You have to show that you are capable. Like, you have to perform. Like, people don't want to watch you talk. Like, that's boring. Okay? And even with this loss to Jey Uso, what is going to end up happening to Gunther? Where does he go from here? Like, you tapped. You look weak. You look like a fool. You could have made it to where he never tapped out. You could have shown that he never. You could had let him lose like a warrior and not give in, not surrender. But you had him surrender. You had him tap out, and now you have Jey Uso being a champion. And then for what? There's no one on the horizon that people want to see him fight. Like, no one gives a fuck about it, and that's the problem. Gunther was a champion, and a strong champion. Though, albeit he defended it 6 times, but he's a very strong champion. He's a great wrestler. You take the belt off of him. Okay? Now you have to prove why you are the best of the best. You have to prove that, hey, you are about that life, that you are worthy of being a champion. And you gotta do so by fighting quality opponents. But the problem is that there's nothing behind it. Like, I think people had such a big issue with Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. And people having issues with Jay's build and the way he wrestles, that I think creative just made him win definitively, sacrifice Gunther's uh um sacrifice Gunther's credibility, and now you're just stuck with a damaged monster and someone that says yeet all day every day, and and he won the Intercontinental Championship, and he lost to Matt Quick. Like, I don't know. It's a cool moment, but why start WrestleMania at that point? With that, there were so many other matches you could have done to start off. And then the second match was the tag team championships with the tag team New Day versus the Viking Raiders, or the Raiders. I forgot the fucking names. Here's the thing. No one gives a fuck about the tag team championships. You had the New Day turn heel You had the New Day, who was primarily a babyface team, turn on one of their best friends, Big E, who had neck fusion surgery. You had something in the bottle, but they didn't know how to capitalize on the heat. They did not know how to make them the most hated tag team ever. So then you had this bullshit tag team match where no one gave a fuck about the build. No one gave a fuck about the match. And here's the thing: what kills things is that people who pay $10,000 and up for tickets to WrestleMania, right? And you're not reacting to it. You're not giving a fuck about a match. Like, it feels like you wasted your time watching this shit. And they don't know how to build uh tag teams. Like, if you kind of sort of follow wrestling, you know the New Day. You don't give a fuck about the other team that actually won the championships. Like, it was such a throwaway match. You might as well put it at the you might as well put it in the beginning of it. Cause sure, you had people being happy for Jey Uso winning the title. That's great. But you put the move down when people did not, when you had the tag team championships. New Day won the championships. Who gives a fuck? They've been multiple championships like every other fucking week, every other month it seems. Like it was a total bullshit thing. So, okay, fine. So the next bit was the match with Jay Cargill versus Naomi. If you ask me what was the point of them fighting, something 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 that someone tried to run over, something 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 jealousy, something something something. It was a good match. Things worked out okay mechanically, technically, not a bad match. Like, but no one had gave a fuck about the story. No one gave a fuck about the match, and I mean, no one gave a fuck about why they had the match. It was just like something that you watch on, like something you throw away on TV to fill time out. There wasn't no epicness. There wasn't any juice to it. It was just some bullshit thing you could just have on TV, and that was it. You have to look at it this way. What are matches that you are willing to pay money for to see? Okay, the Gunther and the first match with Gunther versus Jey Uso, that's something that you would not pay for because they have fought. They have fought a couple of times on Raw, on main event. Like, you've seen this fight before, and to be quite fair, Jay has lost the majority of the fights. It's just that the one loss on Gunther's record is the one at WrestleMania. But mostly Gunther beat the shit out of this poor boy, in other scenarios. So we've seen that match. That's not worth it. New Day versus War Raiders, that's not worth a fucking match. That's a match you would see on TV. Free TV. Or Netflix or whatever the case is. The fucking Jade Cargill versus Naomi thing, that's a free thing. That's on TV. So far you had just TV matches. Well, for the biggest pay-per-view ever. Okay. So then we move on to we move on to this match with, let me see if I could find the proper fucking title of it because it's like so fucking WrestleMania results. Let me see if I could get the 1 second. Let me see. Come on. Go back. Oh my god, my first. I need to see the results. I don't give a fuck about the. What the fuck? No, I don't. Yahoo Sports sucks at organizing this shit. I need to go into order. 1 second. There you go. Okay, so you got that one. Jake Hargill, so I remember the thing. Okay, so the next one. Okay. So, so the next match was uh LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Now this match was good. I will say that match was pretty fucking good. Um, what did it say what the top moments are? So, so there was a very so there was a this match was good because LA Knight is one of the best wrestlers out there, and Jacob Fatu is a monster. And there was some pretty good moments in the match. You had a Jacob try to do a flipping moonsault. Like he tried to do his pattern moonsault, and fucking LA Knight pulled over his finisher on it, like on some Randy Orton, Evan Bourne type shit. Um, that mega super duper finisher that LA Knight pulled off. He tried to get the cover, but Jake for Jacob just put his hand on the rope. Um, but then the match just ended with Jacob with let me see what the end of the list say. Yeah, let's see. Perfect. So essentially, uh, the way the match ended, it was just uh um, well, what was it? Jake like double moonsaults for the victory. I forgot what the lead up was, but yeah, it was double. Like it was a very high paced match. If you had headphones on, you could hear them calling spots and whatnot. What are you talking about? Uh, I could see my thing moving, JFA. So that was that match. Um, like I said, the breakdown is the megastar scales the top rope, caught his opponent with overhead German suplex off the top rope, trouble spot, and then whatever. Now, I need people to understand something. So earlier in the day, we discovered that WWE had decided to purchase or buy out the Mexican wrestling company called AAA. AAA has a bunch of great Mexican stars. Uh, the president and the president, the co-owners, um, were the president and the CEOs and everyone. The representation of the of AAA were there to sign the deal, and this is very important because one of the biggest signings, one of the people that is part of AAA is named Vikingo, who is a great high flyer, was in the building. Now, there is this gentleman by the name of, what is it called? El Grande Americano. Let me see if I could show this real quick. 1 second. There's some stuff I don't have in the corner. Let me see. This is. I have that. This with that. There you go. Dapper Huggy. I like that. Where's window capture? Oh, I don't want. I should take. I need to throw this out. Hold on 1 second. How did I delete it? That's fine. Okay, this bubble. Where's my. There you go. Let me throw out the view count stuff. Okay, cool. Now we have my mic. Oh, my eyes. There you go. This man is called El Grande Americano. Okay? Now, El Grande Americano is actually a gentleman by the name of Chad Gable. Okay? Supremely offensive. I mean, the gimmick was fucking stupid, but basically what happened was Chad Gable, the reason he had wanted to fight a luchador, he got Penta de he fought Penta. Penta and Chad Gable had a great fight. That was Kurt Angle. No, I mean this is Chad Gable, but I get what you're trying to say, Tyler. But this, so he lost to he lost to Penta, and then he tried to fight Ray, and then like he decided to go on this really weird, dark trip. This is the story, by the way. He went out into the world to learn the forbidden art of lucha libre. Came back to become El Grande Americano. Bro, if you saw the his intro, they had like that really grainy Mexican filter, that really sepia thing, mariachi band, like they went all out to be fucking old school Vince racist type of thing. Like they went to the gimmick hard. Now, he was supposed to fight Ray, but I think something happened with Ray. I think he grew old. So what they decided to do is they decided to have Penta's brother Ray Phoenix fight in the match. Penta and Ray Phoenix are brothers. They were they were employed by the other company, AEW. They they didn't like AEW, so they decided to come here. Okay? And Penta is Penta? I don't know. Penta is doing okay for himself. His his brother, was also doing well for himself too. I think he had his first match at WWE. I think he who did he fight? 1 second. Ray Phoenix, WWE first match. What? What was his first match? Okay, his first match was a SmackDown match with someone by the name of. Oh yeah, I'm going to get to that, Tyler. Wait, hold the fuck up. Hold on. Let Huggy cook for a minute. So like, Ray Phoenix's first match was someone by the name of Nathan Frazier. Now, granted, he's going to WrestleMania. Okay, you would figure that you will want Ray Phoenix to have a good match, maybe win his first WrestleMania match, show people that he, is worth a damn, that he's a rising star, whatnot, something along those lines, right? But let me see if I can find it. I need y'all to see this shit. No. So here is what I need you guys to look at. Look. So here you go. I think he missed. Hold on. Like he totally fucking missed. He totally missed, right? Like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. That is synonymous with a very bad person. He does a diving headbutt. The diving headbutt was primarily done. Now Daniel Bryan did it, but another person was fucking the Benoit butt. Thank you. You had you had Ray look like a fucking geek by mid. Like it wasn't like there was a move. There wasn't like fucking El Grande Americano fucking knock punched fucking a Ray in the face or did anything. It was just like he totally missed. He got the wind knocked out of him. He goes to the top rope and then he just does the fucking head Benoit butt and he loses the fucking match. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay. So not only do you have your signee look like a fucking geek, Not only did the fucking final sequence make no fucking sense, now what happens to raise momentum? You lost the fucking white boy in the fuck who's cosplaying as a fucking luchador. And sure, at the ending of the match, fucking Grande Americano went to the fucking seats and he confronted Vikingo. Okay? And that's gonna be the next setup. And again, I highly fucking doubt. Here's the thing about Vikingo that the people who watch wrestling that's not WWE need to learn. Vikingo's moveset is it's crazy. It's outstanding. Not many people could keep up with Vikingo. Okay, Kenny Omega, in my personal opinion, one of the best wrestlers in this generation, was able to make Vikingo look like a fucking superstar while narrowly missing, injury, certain death, or whatnot. Like, he's very quick. I'm talking about he is quicker than quick. I recommend you guys look at his catalog. Like, that would be an interesting match, but I don't know how WWE can. WWE might fucking nerf his style because it's too fast. It's too dangerous. The man could. The man is like a Latino version of fucking Darby Allin. For those that watch AEW, he has reckless abandonment. So so again, it's an interesting match, but like again, this is a match that could have been on TV, and now you sacrifice one of your new signees to feed the fucking Grande Americano, and now it looks bad. How did it look that you lost to a fucking cosplayer, luchador? You know what I mean? So then we go here, and then let me see what's this, and then we get into this lovely thing. Can I open it in here? Oh, let me see if I could get. Okay, hold on. Tiffany, hold on. 1 second. Can I actually check Twitter? Oh, Twitter. Oh my god. Um, Tiffany Stratton tweet. Okay, perfect. Okay, 1 second. Can I go open it in reading mode? One second, let me take it again. Cool. So we have fucking Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. The shit was a gymnast's wet dream. There wasn't no. Tiffany is like the female Benoit now. Wait, why do you say that for? I want to hear why. I want to know why you say that. Um, that's weird. Are you talking about the fucking chip too? You meant the chip too? I see. I see. We went there, guys. This shit is so. It was like there were points in the match where I felt like Charlotte was like fucking up the move set. Yeah. She was messing up the move set. Like there was loud communication about stuff. Fucking hell, even the like I think her tooth got chipped because of a fucking boot, and like it was like everything was so unnecessary. Like it was bad. The ending part was they had a mix up in the corner, and then like Tiffany picked up Charlotte, and like Charlotte was like dead fucking weight, and then fucking Tiffany had to Tiffany, which are gonna do like a rolling senton into the jumping into the uh moonsault, and you can see that she looks back and like I guess she realizes, yo, this bitch is like not helping me whatsoever. She retained the title, um, and again, let me just show you this. She misses a tooth. Like she chipped a fucking tooth. Tiffany. Yeah, it's I don't give a fuck. Just oh my god, I don't give a fuck about here, I'll fucking pause the ads. 1 second. Jesus Lord have mercy. You know, yeah, you can see that she's bloody. She went to war, whatnot. It was a mess.
Ready to be, not to seem.
And again, there was no one really cared about the build of the match. It was just so underwhelming. Like no, like the only time there was like any spark was when they had that back and forth on SmackDown that one time, and where Tiffany was like shit talking Charlotte for not keeping a man, for being under Daddy's shadow, and Charlotte being Charlotte, couldn't take the fact that she got outclassed by the rookie in her mind. And so she just said, hey, your man is in my DMs. Tyler says, Naomi had the match of the night. She's my new favorite other than my cuz Tony Storm. Tony Storm is doing fantastic work. One magnificent work. I enjoy the gimmick. I enjoy the passion. It's great. And again, the Naomi Jade match was good. The story I didn't give a fuck about the story, but it was like competent. This women's match was not fucking competent. I don't give a fuck what it was. And then finally we had fucking the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Everyone's gonna make a big deal about the fact that Seth Rollins uh said the name Moxley inside Dean Ambrose because John Moxley is the name of Dean John in fucking AEW. So he's got, marks on the mind when it comes to the Shield. Um, the match itself there was no stakes to it. Like the only reason why the match took place is because there were favors and then like backstabbing and people hate one another, and the fact that towards the end of the match you had Paul Heyman coming in and wanted to slide the chair to CM Punk, and then fucking Paul was behind Punk. He gave him the illest low blow ever, and then fucking you would figure, oh, Paul is siding with Roman Reigns, and all of a sudden another betrayal happens, and what ends up happening is Seth has Paul Heyman as his new guy. He hits Roman. Roman took the pin, and yeah, so the way they ended night one was having a convoluted way of saying that Seth Rollins is the biggest bad guy ever. He double crossed Roman and Roman and CM Punk. Nothing was gained. Nothing happened to it. Like nothing was of consequence to it. Like Roman deserved a championship fight. Like he kept his eye off the ball when it came to the championship stuff, and like I said, this whole thing about tomorrow, technically today, regarding fucking Cody versus John Cena, that's just gonna be I don't know what to expect on that. But yeah, that's how they ended night one for a triple threat match between Roman, Old Man Punk, Seth Rollins. There was no build. There was nothing to be excited about. You had the stupid favor. You had the intrigue of like Paul being siding with Seth, and now we have to wait until Monday or Friday to find out why this happened. It's I didn't really feel anything about it. It was nonsense. It was just stupid. Like when we talk about WrestleMania, when we talk about the main event, it has to be like a coronation. It has to be something that you you could get excited about. I wonder if Cena versus Rose will be a bloodbath. It's not gonna be a bloodbath. No, no, no. The thing with WWE is like they never get to the point where people get so pissy and so mad that you'll get vengeance and bloodbath. Like the thing with the Mania match in last year's Mania, you had The Rock beating the shit out of Cody, making him bleed and whatnot. So there was a blood feud to it. But Cody never got a chance to fight Rock. He did for that tag team match, but it wasn't. But they lost the match because of because of tribal combat rules or whatnot. So he never got his lick back. Technically speaking, Undertaker got his lick. I mean, Undertaker, put hands on the Rock. It wasn't necessary. He didn't like do anything about it. And so at least with AEW, there are matches I could point out to you, like look up Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page. Those are series of matches where where in storyline they hate one another, they despise one another. People burned down houses. People broke into houses. Like Hangman, I think Hangman Hangman got choked up by Swerve with a chain. Fucking uh Hangman bashed Swerve's head in with a fucking steel chair, knocking him the fuck out in a cage match. Like they had to call TKO on it. Like that's how brutal the storyline is. Tony Storm versus Mariah May, a Hollywood ending match. Bloody as all hell. They're not going to do something like that. It should be like that, but it's just to give it some extra oomph to it, but they have to be really responses and whatever the case is. And I just have this funny feeling that Cena's going to win his 17th championship and it's going to be a dud. Like, no one is, like, everyone's going to be like, oh, okay. And the fucking problem, the fact that Cody won, kept the title for a whole year, and he didn't have any worthwhile matches. And the last couple of months, he didn't defend the fucking title. He never defended it. He never defended the Elimination Chamber. I think he did defend against Kevin Owens, but like the last few months, there wasn't any defense for Cody. Like he didn't work a match. He didn't work any consistent matches. And again, he beat someone that held that title for 3 years. And you are telling me that the man who beat Roman Reigns, albeit it was with shenanigans, which it annoys me that the way Roman's uh title uh went, the way he lost the title, like if you were going to make Jay's win over Gunther definitive, it should have been Roman's. Roman should have been definitive. There shouldn't, like, I know it was a stipulation that that Rock and Roman won. They got the stipulation they want, but it shouldn't have been like that. That it should have been. They should have had it to where it has to. If you really want to cement someone's legacy, especially with something that is monumental, like if you go way back in the annals of history, when Bruno Sammartino lost his title, when he was like champion for a couple of years, everyone fell silent because everyone knew Bruno Sammartino to be the guy. But for him to lose the championship, it's like the equivalent of Undertaker losing the streak or Hogan losing the title when he did. Like he, it should have been made a big deal. That championship been made a big deal. All Cody is that he just got the championship. He was holding it warm for Cena, but there's Mania, and I hate the fact that that WWE have to use shenanigans for for people to win fights or for them to win matches. It can never be definitive. Like you should like that if you're gonna have Cena win, I understand he's a bad guy, if whatever you want to call him a bad guy. If he I understand he's a bad guy, but if he is the greatest of all time, there shouldn't be any interference. It should be a clean match. Show people that Cena is about that life. Show that Cena deserves to win a championship that was once held by Roman Reigns, who had a 3-year stint with it, show that Cena is worthy enough to gain a championship for someone that held the championship for a year, albeit he didn't defend it that much. But there shouldn't be interference. There is going to be interference, but my problem with interference wins is that when the bad guy wins through interference, it kills the vibe. And the fact that you are going to have Cena, the the worrisome thing is they're going to have Cena win to cultivate his last Mania win, get to number 17, and it's going to fall flat, and people are just going to be like, oh, okay, that's great. What are we going to do now? Like, you're going to have, hypothetically speaking, Mania go in a shitty place, and it's the main event. Um, but the thing is, when it comes to baby faces winning when there is interference, it's more captivating. See, that's what interference should be. It should show that the babyface rose above the odds. They had to go through fire, brimstone. Everything was thrown in their way, but they found a way to win. It's the perseverance thing. But like, if you just have the bad guy, oh, let me hit you here, and then you're knocked out, and then I give you the five knuckle shuffle and the AA, and then I pin you. It's like you're not good enough to beat Cody by yourself. That's weird. That's suspicious. Um, and I think that's gonna be the crux of what day two is gonna be. Overall, with day one, the only highlight for me are two matches that technically could have been TV matches if they wanted to. Was like, if you listen to the crowd with the majority of WrestleMania, the crowd wasn't really into it. Nothing was hot. The the format wasn't all there. The fact that you start with the championship, you got everyone hyped that the Yeet Master won the championship. Then you go right into a tag team championship that no one really cared about. Then you had Naomi versus Jade, where it was a good match, but no one was really like supremely popping for it. Then you had then you had the LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu thing, which was okay, but again that could have been a TV match. Then you had Ray Phoenix versus El Grande Americano, again TV match, right? Because it could have been on TV, and the ending was horrendous. The Tiffany Stratton stuff was a fucking mess. It was just them doing flippy shit. Not even, that's all they were doing. They were doing flippy shit, and there were times where they were not in communication. It looked like at the ending, like Jay tried to steal my gimmick. Best spot ever was Stone Cold freaking Austin in the sharpshooter looking ahead, just screaming. I wonder if Cena versus Rose. Well, I read that stuff, but like you had like and then you had this triple threat match with all it was just a build to Paul being a conniving devil, a fucking not a devil, well a conniving opportunistic, uh, that betrayed his closest people in Roman and CM Punk. Now he's with Seth, and there was nothing really there. It wasn't like it it wasn't anything special, to be quite honest with you. I mean, and that's a messed up thing. 'Cause there have been many years where the main event meant something. The main event where at WrestleMania 20, where Eddie and Chris Benoit won the championships, and they were hugging. That was a moment. Daniel Bryan winning the championship. That was a moment. When Roman piled up Edge and Daniel Bryan. That was a moment. Rock versus Hogan was a moment. Everything was a moment. This isn't a moment. This is just TV matches with no good build and no good reason why these matches should be. It was like the triple threat match was just thrown in together because no one had any idea how to put these people in WrestleMania. So you just figured, let me just gather them in and let's just hope for the best. But like I said, with night two, it should be something interesting. He should have stayed home. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I agree on that. I do. Like he's old. He's a very old man. Um, but yes. Let me see what it's going to be for night two, and I'll give you guys a rundown on what I think will happen. Let me go here. WrestleMania. Night two car. Okay. What have mercy upon my soul. Okay. So this is the thing for night two, okay? So you have Randy Orton's open challenge. You have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, okay? AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, okay? Which is I'm not sure. I don't know sure what's going to be for the open challenge because Kevin Owens got injured. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, who gives a fuck? AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, that could be a banger because Logan Paul is a worker and AJ Styles is AJ Styles. I mean, Logan has shown to be a great pay per view person, but again, whatever. Tag team, Liv and Raquel versus Bailey and Lara Valkyrie. I think Lara is not going to be in the match. I think there's going to be another person. People speculate it'd be Becky. Intercontinental Champion with Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio for Fatal 4. So Penta's going to be in the match. Hopefully it's not as bad as his brother. Oh, let me I don't. I can't tell who's gonna win the Open Challenge. The Drew McIntyre Damien Priest thing. Nothing would surprise me if Drew won the fight. AJ versus Logan Paul. Um, I would say Logan Paul build his character up so he could like be more competent to hold like a bigger championship rather than the US championship. Women's tag team championships: Liv Morgan, Raquel versus Bailey, and Lara Valkyria, or I or whoever the guest person is. Oh, on the women, I would say Bailey and Avara, and then you have Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker, Finn, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept the belt on Braun. But I wouldn't be surprised if Penta gets it just to do a makeup call for Ray looking like a geek. Women's World Championship. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca. People were saying that Bianca's going to get the championship. Because Ray just had the championship, so it kind of makes sense. But I would again, there was a really good build to it. It was just nonsense. It felt forced, but I would say Bianca for that one. And finally, Undisputed Championship, which doesn't make any sense because the the only way it's undisputed is one belt, not two belts, because there's two belts. That's one on Raw, one on SmackDown. I digress. Cody versus John Cena. I would make the argument that Cena's going to win due to shenanigans. But yeah, that's the stuff for Mania. Um, I would give Bailey's out, so I knew someone was out. So it could be Lyra versus maybe with Lyra and Becky Lynch. But yeah, that's my thing. But yeah, I would give night one a 5 out of 10, middle of the road, not too good, not too bad. But in any case, you guys, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. Share this with people that are big wrestling fans. I may do something on Discord, do a watch party for night two of WrestleMania. But with that being said, have a great night. See